Hey everyone, it's a beautiful day here in North Texas. It's springtime, finally feels like, it's just a great day to go sit out on the patio, have a couple of beers, something like that. But something that's been kind of bugging me since I got my big green egg was I've just been wondering, will I like the taste of meat that comes off of the big green egg or the Yoder YS1500 better? I'm sure there's some things that I'll like better on one versus the other, but today we're just gonna do a simple rib test and I'm just gonna give you my honest opinion. I'm gonna season the ribs just as I normally do. I'm gonna use Angelo's because I know I like that rub. I'm gonna wrap them, do a little honey, a little bit of butter, a little bit of brown sugar. We'll do kind of just our normal thing, 3 hours on smoke, 2 hours wrapped or so. And then may or may not glaze them with some barbecue sauce. Haven't decided on that one yet, but I'm just gonna basically give you my opinion. I'm sure some people will like that little bit of a smoky flavor that you get from having that real wood burning versus the pellets that just burn such a clean smoke, clean fire, where you don't get as much of that smokiness. I'm sure they're just varying opinions. I'm gonna give you mine for what it's worth. So I appreciate you guys watching, and I'll just kind of walk you through seasoning up the ribs and putting them out there on my smokers. So thank you. All right, guys, first thing I always do is take the membrane off. You can go watch a million YouTube videos on this. That's not necessarily what this video is about. So we'll go ahead and we'll get these taken care of for you really quickly. And just like that, got the membranes off. So next step is, as normal, just gonna use a little bit of mustard as my binder. Super easy. A lot of people go pretty heavy on this, but I tend not to. Looks like I'm at the end of my mustard here. So I'll go ahead, get these prepped up. I'm gonna do the same thing on both sides, mustard. Then I'm gonna, as always, use a little Angelo's seasoning. Like I said, just my favorite. Use whatever you want when you're doing your tests, but we'll go ahead, speed this up for you, and we'll meet you back when we're ready to put them on. All right, y'all. That'll about do it for these. I'm gonna let this rub tack up on it a little bit and let it, just your normal rest, sit, let it kind of soak into the meat, and then we'll just put it on the smoker. And like I said, guys, this is just an honest test. I don't know what I'm gonna like better, and then some people are gonna like some things better than others. That's the whole point of this, It's all, and at the end of the day, we're just trying to have some fun. So I'll meet you guys back out at the smoker. All right, y'all, we're ready to put these on. So I've got both smokers here, the Yoder YS1500 sitting at 225 degrees. I've also got the big green egg over here sitting at about 225 degrees as well. So I'm just gonna put these on here. I'm gonna put them on smoke for about 3 hours. And remember, we're just trying to test what the difference in flavor is. Do we get a lot more of that smoky taste with big green egg, which is kind of my null hypothesis here? Or do we like that flavor? I think that's the biggest thing. So burp the egg, throw it open, and this should fit just about perfectly in here. There we go. All right, we'll shut that down. So just remember, we're doing both with pecan. I got some Texas pecan pellets here. These have actually been pretty good pellets so far. And then I've got my pecan chunks that I'm running on the big green egg. So we've got it about as evenly set up as we can. So we'll check back with you guys when we're ready to wrap in about 3 hours. Hey y'all, we've had the ribs on for about 3 hours now, so we're gonna pull them off, then we're gonna bring them inside and just wrap them up. So let's take a look as we're taking them off here. So I got another rack going over here, but I've got this one. So here's our rack from the Yoder. You can see we've got some nice bark buildup, got a little bit of color on it. You can still see some of the seasoning, but overall it looks pretty good. Pretty much what I would expect from the Yoder. Let's go over to the egg. Alright, let's pull these off here. Whoa, those are tender. So, already seeing some definite big differences between them, but let's go inside and we'll make a comparison there, and then we'll wrap them up and put them back on. Okay guys, we're back inside now. And so we've got both of our racks of ribs pulled off, and just looking at them side by side, this is from the Yoder, these are from the green egg, and I just noticed, look at that bend. They're much more tender. We've really broken down the meat a lot more on the big green egg. But the first thing you notice is the color difference. Cooking over that real wood and that Rockwood charcoal, really notice you get a lot darker on the bark, and you've really got a much more bark development here than you have from the Yoder. The next thing you notice is that bone pull back. I mean, this bone right here, it's ready to come out. I mean, they're so tender. You could probably eat these now, and you'd be perfectly happy doing that. But we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna wrap them. And then we're gonna run this thing all the way through and see what we think. So I'm gonna do my kind of standard way of doing things. I'm gonna cut 3 little slices of butter and just distribute them on my sheet here. It's just aluminum foil, shiny side up, and then I'm just using some regular old honey. And I'm not actually going to put any brown sugar on this time. It's just a little too sweet for me. I'm not into the sweet, so we'll add a little extra honey. I like the taste of the honey more than the brown sugar. We're not doing it for competition. We're doing it for our own taste. So we'll do the Yoder ribs first. Let's put them face down on there. Let's wrap them up here. Two layers. Get them nice and tight. Okay, that one's done. Let's get 3 more slices of butter here. And this is the only inexact part of the whole experiment. I'll just part those out there. Okay, put some more honey on. Okay. Then we'll take these. Man, look how tender that is. Womp, womp, womp. Okay. All right. Oh, look at that. I mean, they're already ready to eat. That's the funny thing. But we're gonna let them go. We'll monitor them as they get more tender and we see more of this membrane breakdown in the back of these. We may even pull them off a little bit sooner, but I want to give it that time to kind of get some more flavor baked in there. So go ahead and wrap these up. Smaller piece of foil at the end of my foil. Luckily, this rack's a little bit smaller. It's shrunk up a good bit. All right. Okay, we're gonna go take these and we're gonna throw them out there on the smoker again. I fully anticipate that the Yoder ribs are gonna take a little bit longer, so we're probably looking at like a full 1.5 to 2 hours on those. These big green egg ribs, I may only let them go for 30 minutes. I'll start checking those at 30. We'll start checking the Yoder ones at about 45 minutes to an hour. So we'll take our tray and we'll see you back out there when we put them on. Hey y'all, we're back outside now. Got the Yoder here. Remember, these are the Yoder ribs. Easiest way to tell is these were a little bit longer. These shrunk up a little bit more. So I'm gonna throw these on here. Right back in the same spot as we had them before. And we'll walk on over to the egg. Oop. Perfect. Let's put those right in there. You really see how they shrunk up, because when I first put those ribs on here, that rack was going the whole width here. I'm just wondering if that's part of why we've seen these cook so much faster on this thing. So we'll close that up, and then when we're ready to eat, we'll come back and we'll show you. We'll do the final comparison. We'll look for smoke rings, we'll look for the bark, and then we'll ultimately tell y'all what we think from a taste perspective. So appreciate y'all joining us. We'll see you in a little while. Hey y'all, we've got both of those racks of ribs off of the smoker now, and I want to show you guys what we've got here. So this one, I mean, remember, we didn't glaze any of these. We just wrapped them, and that's the way I like to do them, so that's what I'm testing. So these are from the Yoder, so you can see they definitely didn't get the same amount of color. They don't even look as moist actually as the other ones either. Bone pullback, I mean, it looks good. We got some membrane breakdown on the back here. I don't know if you guys can see that. So they're right where we want to be. They're probably a little more tender than you would do for a competition, but we're not doing a competition here, so that's fine. So that's the Yoder ones. Here are the ones off the egg. I mean, look at they probably got a little overcooked, a little too tender. I shouldn't say overcooked, because these are going to taste awesome. I think both are going to taste really good. I think we just have to see which one we like the best. So let's cut into them. Let's take a look at the smoke ring. Let's go with the Yoder first. So once again, I mean, look at that. They're tender. There's no doubt about it. Let's flip them. So I'll cut right out of the middle here. Let's get one nice. And these are spare ribs, by the way. I don't know that I said that at the start, but these are spare ribs. That's I like spare ribs a little bit better. You can see a nice smoke ring. They're really nice and juicy, no doubt about it. You know, I don't think the smoke ring's gonna be as pronounced as it would be on the egg, but let's go ahead and take a bite. They taste as good as they always do. This is generally how I do my ribs. Usually if I'm cooking for a crowd, this is how I do it. Pretty good bite. See the bone there. They're nice and tender. So no surprises there. It tastes pretty good. Let's put these back over here. Now, this is where, for me, the surprise is, and this is where the ultimate part of the test comes in. I mean, just look at these things. They're really, really tender. We'll cut about out of the same part as we did for the other one. Got to cut on a little bit of an angle because these bones aren't super straight. I'll take this part of the rack and we'll put it over here. Put this over here. Okay. Still see a smoke ring. It's definitely a darker little bit of a smoke ring there. The meat, I mean, side by side, you know, you got a little bit more gray. Actually, there's more of a pronounced smoke ring throughout the meat on the one from the Yoder than on the one from the egg. Now, this looks a little drier. They're definitely still pretty juicy, but yeah, I mean, so those are the differences. As far as bone pullback goes, it's pretty similar on this one. I think overall we had about the same bone pullback. We just had it a lot sooner on the big green egg. And let's go ahead. This is my first rib that I've cooked off a big green egg, so let's see. Oh, wow. Definitely not as moist and definitely not as juicy. Tenderness is there. It's a little bit drier. Now that could have been because maybe we had a few more swings in temperature on the big green egg, so won't necessarily hold it against it, but definitely taste the smoke a little bit more. I can definitely taste that pecan, but it's still really good. I think the way that I stand right now with it is, and maybe it's just a matter of me getting used to it, I think the Yoder's winning for me just from the juiciness perspective, because we did the same exact thing on both. Remember, we seasoned them with the same seasoning, wrapped them and everything, but the egg tastes a little bit more like what you might get at a barbecue restaurant. It definitely has that smoke flavor. I love the pecan. You taste the pecan a lot more than you do on the Yoder. So to really leave it down to preference, I'd say, you know, for me, I'd say I probably like the Yoder a little bit better at this point, but you know, I'd leave it up to you guys to judge when you go and try this yourselves. So hope you've enjoyed this video. Like I said, I'm sticking with the Yoder for now, but that doesn't mean I'm not gonna cook on the egg again. So anyways, thank you guys for joining me today, and I hope you guys have a lot of fun doing this. So happy cooking.